Hey, this is Mike. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Sparks Toyota, and I'm checking out a 2016 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Now, the TRD Pro is pretty much the most off-road capable 4Runner that Toyota makes, thanks to its TRD tuned suspension, 17-inch TRD off-road wheels, Bilstein shocks, skid plates on the bottom, and locking rear differential, among other things. It also has like a crawl mode in four-wheel drive, so really cool features here. So I'm going to show you everything I possibly can on this vehicle. So let's go ahead and get started. So here in the front, like I mentioned, 17-inch TRD aluminum wheels, painted a flat black, looking pretty sharp, with the Nitto off-road tires. And it has four-wheel disc brakes, and every one of them are ventilated. So it has the four-wheel ventilated disc brakes. Get a look here. Has the privacy glass. Now the dealer has tinted the front glass to match the back, so this would not be coming from the factory with a tint in the front. Let's take a look here. And maybe you can see a little bit of the suspension there. So let's take a look at these shocks here in the front and the really long suspension system there, so you can get a really good articulation when you're doing off-road maneuvers. And I like the way they have the coil springs in red, which looks really cool. That's what got my attention. And you also see a portion of the skid plate under here. Let's take a look at the front. We have halogen projector headlights in combination with the reflector headlights there for the high beams. Plus we have the halogen fog lights here at the bottom. And I like the way the grille is all kind of blacked out along with the wheels. It has a really good contrast with the white color. You also have the hood scoop here, which has the black portion there in the center, which makes it stand out even more, contrasting the white. And let's take a look at that skid plate under here. Pretty beefy TRD skid plate here in the front. Let's take a look at this side. Really awesome looking truck, isn't it? So this is what the key looks like. It's pretty traditional by today's standards. You have the lock and unlock buttons on it though, with basically the panic button. And let's take a look at this side. You have the Toyota emblem there. So let's go ahead and make sure it's unlocked by pushing the unlock button. And let's go ahead and check it out here on the passenger side. A little bit windy today. Okay, so let's take a look at the inside of the passenger door. Pretty much everything's black. You have a red accent stitching here and a gloss black handle, which looks pretty cool. You have your window controls and door lock controls there at the top. Have a little storage pocket there, which is in the more forward position, which is more handy. And then you have a bottle holder and some storage pockets down there. Pretty much everything around your arm will be soft to the touch. And the grip, I don't know if you can notice in here, it's a little bit dimply, so it has like a sporty look and feel. Pretty cool. Power seat here on the passenger side. And has a pretty good height off the floor. You have the red accent stitching here on the passenger seat, all leather with pretty decent bolstering, so when you're doing your off-road maneuvers, the seat kind of keeps you from sliding around too much. There's your handle there. And the vehicle, I guess you could put steps on the side because it is a little bit of a step to get in the vehicle. You have the TRD Pro floor mats there, which look pretty cool. They're kind of in a gray color, so they're a little bit different from the rest of the vehicle. The rest of the vehicle is black. So you have a locking glove compartment. Let's go ahead and open that up and check it out. Pretty good size. So in the back of the glove compartment is a little door, and that is for your cabin filters. Really easy to change those. You just have to clean out your glove compartment if you got a bunch of junk in here in order to replace the cabin filters. All right. Maybe take a look at the window sticker, so in case you want to use the pause button, you can get some more information there. Okay, let's take a look. Look at the badging there, the TRD Pro. Even that's blacked out in a kind of a matte black look. So let's take a look here in the back. All black. You have the red accent stitchings. You have the gloss. You have the contrast of the gloss and the more of a satin black. There's your threshold, and here's your seats. And you pretty much have a bench seat here in the back, so you can fit 3 people pretty comfortably. And these seats will fold down, which I'll show you in a second. Armrest comes down, and you have 2 cup holders, which is convenient. Also, the center portion of the seat can fold down as well, just in case you need like a center cargo area. There's some power supplies, 12 volts. There's your vents. You also have some net pockets here in the back of the seats. Plenty of leg room. So folding the seats is pretty simple. You just lift this up first, like so. Then you have that. Now you can use that as storage or a cargo capacity if you need to. So this folds down, and you just have to fold down the headrest like so. And I'm going to get my camera out of the way because I'm going to push this button, and it kind of flops down. You would hold it with the other hand, but since I have a camera on the other hand, I just let it go down. So you can see the headrest is there's a place for the headrest there once it's folded. So now you can see plenty of cargo space. So I'm going to put that up so we can see how to put it back up. Make sure that stays up. As simple as just kind of pushing stuff there in place, so you're not really tugging on anything. Let's take a look here in the back. You do have the racks there on the top, which is handy. So here in the back we have the big 4Runner and Toyota emblems here in chrome. So your towing package is down here, and you can see right there you also have a spare tire under there as well. And the vehicle can tow up to 5,000 pounds. And it does have the 4- and 7-way outlets kind of over on this side right there, so you can plug them in. You have some tow hooks and stuff there, mud flaps. Let's try to get a look around that spare tire so we can see the other components, the rear end and stuff. Okay, so let's take a look here in the back. You have a backup camera right here. Opening up the tailgate is a little button just under the 4Runner name, and it goes right up. So back here you have pretty good space for cargo, even without folding the seats down. Once you fold the seats down, then of course you got probably double the amount. Okay, so here on the sides we have some storage pocket areas for putting stuff. We also have some tie downs on the sides as well. Also, you see you have a little bit more storage area on this side, a little storage pocket. Tie down, 400 watts Edison plug, AC Edison plug right there, which is really awesome, very handy, easy to get to. And then you have a 12-volt power supply there to the right. Just want to show you something. This is your tie down for cargo, and then your anchor tie down for your car seat latch system is right here. There's also a kind of a hidden storage pocket here. This lifts up and you can put some stuff in there out of the way. And also, let's say you have something heavy, like a heavy box or something like that you're picking up. This really makes it easier to load it. So this right here, you just move this over and slide this out like so. So now you can literally put a box or whatever you want, a heavy object up to 400 pounds, and you can set it there, and then you can easily slide it into place. And the reason why I say this is really handy is because you don't have to bend your back over too much to try to slide it in there. This actually comes out to you, which is awesome. You can also use it as a tailgating surface there, so you can, sit on it and hang out. You also have some little hangers under here, so you can hang some stuff or whatever you want to do. Pretty cool feature. Definitely recommend a cargo mat. That would probably come in handy for the longevity of the carpet. In here is your tools for your spare tire, jack and tools and stuff. So your fuel door is on the driver's side, which is very convenient, and it opens up. It's not a locking door, but you could put a locking cap if you wanted to. Now the cap comes off, has a little tether system there so you don't lose it and it doesn't scratch your paint. You can put it right up here, just like that. Really handy. And of course you want to tighten it to a click. Let's just take a look on this side quickly to give you another point of view here in the back. Let's take a look up here on the roof area. Headliner. You have some handles and lights and stuff. So starting the vehicle is pretty traditional. You just put the key in, you start it up. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. So opening the hood is fairly simple. Right here in the very center, a little bit to the right of center, you have this little lever and you just push it to the left. Lift up the hood just a few inches and it goes up the rest of the way by itself. Okay, so here's your engine. It is a 4.0 liter V6, 270 horsepower, 278 pound-feet of torque. Has the intelligent VVT system. It's covered up with plastic for the most part, but hopefully you can see some of the engine. You can see a little bit there, which is awesome. It's mated to a 5-speed automatic transmission. So the driver's seat is powered as well with up and down. It's kind of like a dentist chair. There's so many different options you can adjust, but also it has the adjustable power lumbar support, which helps with your back. Really love that. Okay, so here we are on the inside. 2016 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Plenty of room, and everything is very ergonomic where you can reach it easily. It's easy to understand, and it looks cool too. So let's go ahead and start over here on the driver's door. It's basically just like the other side. You have the storage areas there, and I like the way this middle section is kind of high up and more in the front location, so it's easier to get to. Some of them that are back here is a little bit awkward for me anyway. So your power window controls are pretty high up here, and you have the fully automatic one touch up and down, so you could just do that number. It goes up and down pretty quick. You have your door lock controls. You also have the ability to lock all the windows, so like say if you have kids in the back or something, you don't want them playing around with the windows, so you can lock them if you want to there. So the side mirrors are controlled with these little pad right here. You just have to pick a side and then you can adjust it there, and then you have this dimmer switch right here, so if that's for your interior gauges. And your heated windshield wipers, actually it's not actually the windshield wipers, it's the area right below the windshield wipers. So you can heat this up in the wintertime, so if your windshield wipers are stuck with all the ice, it'll melt the ice for you. It's pretty awesome. And right here is the 400 watts AC Edison plug that's in the back. That is, you have to turn it on. So here's the button to turn that on. So let's take a look at the steering wheel. It is a tilt and telescoping steering column, and then you can lock it with the lever under here, like so. So it has the little dimples. Not, it doesn't look like it's goes all the way through like perforations, but it says little dimples in the leather here. Looks pretty awesome and very comfortable. and high quality. It has the leather texture to it. You know, some steering wheels are kind of smooth. This one has that really grippy leather texture, and it's really has a good thickness. You have your little grips there for your driver's ed 10 and 2 positions there, but and also it helps you with a more control there. But anyways, really awesome steering wheel. It's got the Toyota emblem there in the center, front and the center, and then you have the gloss black here on the sides, and it has quite a few buttons that are very convenient. So here on the right is your phone button. So once you pair your Bluetooth phone with the system, it's easily make calls and receive calls there. You also have a voice recognition system, which helps out with that. So we'll get back to this button in a second. That corresponds with the menu system here between the gauges. We'll get back to that. But here on the left is your for your radio. So you have your volume controls there, your mode, which is like AM, FM, satellite radio. Here's a back button in case you need to go back out of a certain screen, and then you can, like say, scroll through your presets there. You can change through stations with the left and right, and then presets up and down. You can make your selections there in the center. Your cruise control is kind of hidden back in here. You just have to push this button here on the outside to turn it on, and you'll have an indicator, a green indicator there that it's turned on. And once it's on, you can set it by pushing it down. You can change your speed by going up and down, and you can cancel it by pulling it in, and you can always turn it off, of course, by pushing that button again. Okay, so the gauges, we'll get back to this button here. The gauges are here. I really like the way it has the black with the blue accent, and then the white lettering that's illuminated, backlit, really awesome looking. You have your RPM gauge here, also known as a tachometer. Somebody reminded me, of course. And then here on the right is your speedometer, which goes up to 120 miles an hour. Pretty cool. And your engine coolant temperatures there. Your fuel gauge is here. Notice it has the little fuel pump there with the arrow pointing to the left, showing you which side your fuel door is on, which is pretty cool. And so it's showing you what gear you're in. Okay, so right here on the screen, we have your how many miles the vehicle has, your outside temperature, and your digital compass, which is facing south right now. So right now, it's giving us some information here in the center. It says average miles per gallon. Of course, that's not accurate, but it will be once the vehicle starts being driven. So I'm going to push this little display button, this little DISP button I showed you before, and we're going to kind of cycle through just to show you that there's other information besides that we can get. Alright, so let's push it. This is the current miles per gallon. It'll give you like a little bar there as you're driving, and it'll show you what you're getting. Cruising range, how far you can drive before you have to get gas. Of course, all this is skewed because it's a new vehicle. Elapsed time, how long you've driven the vehicle. And your digital speedometer is right here. That's probably where I would leave it all the time. Okay, so check this out. It's like a little car looking thing. It looks like a video game from the 80s, but let me just show you. It's really cool. I'm going to open up the door so you can see what happens. Isn't that cool? It shows you the door, which door is open, so that way in case any of your doors are open, you can quickly find out which one it is, if it's the tailgate or one of the side doors there. That is really cool. Alright, so let's continue on. So we can go into different settings if you want to and change the information that we get here on the bottom. And a blank screen, which is handy if you don't want to have anything distracting you there. And then it goes back to the original spot. So I'm actually going to put it on the digital speedometer, which is, I think, the default screen. At least it would be for me. So back here behind the steering wheel, we have your headlight controls. You can turn your daytime running lights off. Then you have an automatic, parking lights, and then headlight controls there. And then you have your fog light controls just beside it. Really cool. And then you have your windshield wiper and washer controls there on the right. Okay, so let's take a look at the center stack. It's topped off with a pretty traditional digital clock up here, and it has kind of a little of a storage spot right there, quick access storage space around the clock. Really easily adjustable clocks with the minute and hour there buttons. Four-way flashers is right there, front and center. And here's your radio system here with the touch screen. You can make selections like so if you want to, and it has the big traditional knobs. Like literally you can have gloves on and operate this thing. You have your volume, which is here on the left. And it sounds pretty good too.
A private dining area.
Sounds really good. It has some pretty significant bass sounding. And then you can, of course, change to your stations there. And so your audio sources, you have the AM, FM, satellite radio, Bluetooth audio, which is really handy. You also have the ability to play music through a CD player, a USB port, or an auxiliary input, which is awesome. CD player is right up in here. You have a phone button up there in case you need to use that instead of the steering wheel. Okay, so the apps button kind of goes into all the different things that you can get information from in your radio system. So we were in the audio screen, so let me just show you. We were in there. Okay, so this is the audio screen. But you also have the navigation screen, which is really cool. And there's your map, and you can set a destination if you want to. You put in an address. You can actually have a bunch of saved stuff there if you want to. You can search for different points of interest, that kind of stuff. So let's go back out of there. This is where you would set up and use your phone. We don't want to set up one now, but once you pair your phone with the system through the Bluetooth system, it's real simple. You can have access to your phone book and recent calls and a dial pad and all that stuff. And also, you know, once you pair it, you can play music through the Bluetooth audio system and stuff like that. You do have messages, so if you have any messages through your phone, it'll show up here. Setup has lots of different things, like you can set up your screen, you can set up different phones, all kinds of different options there. So your traffic and weather buttons would get information through your cell phone and different other sources. So right now it's not really getting information. Like I say, the weather uses also a HD radio system, so it's not really not connected right now. So, and then you have the maintenance, which you can keep track of: engine oil, oil filter, rotating your tires, battery, brake pads, all these different things, which is really cool. So you can find out, you know, put in there when it was changed, and it'll if I'm not mistaken, it'll actually remind you when it's time to you know, change or check these things. So that's a pretty cool feature there. You don't have to keep track of it on a notebook or anything. It keeps it right in the computer, which is awesome. Your home screen is a combination of your navigation map and your radio, which is pretty cool. You have a micro SD card input here on the right. This is for your navigation. So this is something you don't want to mess with unless you're updating your navigation. Okay, so down here is your climate control. You have your fan speed, your temperature, where you want the air to blow there. You have your front and rear defrosters, and then you recirculate the air. And you notice everything's very big and simple. Not a lot of complication going on here. Little storage pockets down here. You have a 12-volt power supply. USB and auxiliary inputs are behind this little cover, like so. And this is, I guess that was originally designed for like I think is what it looks like for like a cell phone or whatever, but the only thing is cell phones are a lot bigger than that, a lot of them now. Okay, so you have a cup holder here in the front center, a little storage pocket here. There's your four-wheel drive shifter. So you have the four-wheel drive high, four-wheel drive low, and different options there. I'm not going to put it in four-wheel drive. But then here is your little storage pocket here. I guess that's a good place to put your cell phone. And then you see it's opened up into the cup holder, of course, because you use the cup holder for other things besides just cups. So here's your shifter, and it has the TRD emblem there on the top of the shifter, which is awesome. And it has like a matte stainless steel look. Very comfortable and easy to use. So you have this little way of travel down for your shifter. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse. And there's your backup camera, pops up right here, and you can see from the bumper to the sky, all around. You have no excuse for backing into something. And then you have neutral. There's your drive. This is your normal drive position, which it will cycle through all 5 gear ratios as you drive for you. But if you want to manually change through the gears, you put it over here in the sport mode, and you can shift through the gears if you want to. And you'll know what gear you're in because it'll show you right up here which gear you're actually in at the time. I don't know if it'll actually let you start off in 5th gear. It might, but I'm not going to try it. But it might not. I'm not sure if it'll actually do that or not. It might lower to a more reasonable gear when you start off. So here's your heated seat controls right here for your driver and passenger. All you have to do is just start turning them, and there's kind of like a high and low and then an off position there. And so this is awesome right here. This is for your rear glass in the tailgate. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. The whole back glass rolls up and down just like you would roll up and down the windows on the side door. Isn't that cool? And it's automatic too, it's cool. Okay, so here's your armrest. And it's pretty good size, so you don't have to fight the passenger over it too much. And then this lifts up. You have a place for some tissues and a pencil or a pen there. Place to put some quarters. You have a 12-volt power supply in there. A little shelf system, and then you have a deeper pocket on the right side, on the back side there. It's going to get cluttered up, so just letting you know that in advance. And you have a little place for a wire to go in and out of the console, which is awesome because you might want to charge your cell phone, so you can plug it in, run the wire through this little spot here, so when you close this down it doesn't squish your cable. Okay, so let's take a look at the rear view mirror. It's an auto dim rear view mirror, and you can see it's kind of auto dimming right now. You can turn that feature off by pushing this button so we can see it brighten up a little bit. It's auto dimming because I have the shade over the light sensor back here. Okay, so up here we've got a whole bunch of cool stuff. You have your HomeLink garage door openers. You have your interior lights to where you can turn on an individual light, or you can have the interior lights turn on with the door or not. You have a little ambient light, which is pretty cool at nighttime. Okay, so traction control button, you can turn traction control off if you need to spin tires or something. You have your A-track button here. This is for your off-road capability. I'll leave some links in the description of the video so you can get an idea of what that does. You have your locking differential there in the rear button there, and then you have your crawl mode speed right up here, and then you have a kind of a select terrain for different surfaces there on the right. So depending on what kind of surface, like rocks or mud or different things like that, snow, you can really fine-tune it there. You can actually turn it and choose what you want. Really cool features that are right up at the top, which is a little bit unusual. It unclutters all this space down here. So a lot of vehicles have all these buttons down here. I like the way they separate those and put them up here, so it's just less cluttery. It's more spread out. So your visors have the lights and mirrors on both sides there. And this dashboard is really cool. I noticed that when I got in the vehicle, it has a non-reflective surface. I don't know if you can see that with this shade kind of in the way, but you can see the actual dash is a non-reflective surface. It's really cool. That's one thing I noticed in some vehicles. The dashboard kind of reflects the light in your face, and a little distracting. But this one does a really good job of just kind of absorbing the light, I guess you can say. I like the way that has that kind of a brushed metal accent there, which is cool. Okay, so let's take a look at the visibility here in the back. Now we already saw the glass rolling up and down, but now we're kind of looking for visibility. So you can see there's lots of windows back there. You can see really good. You also have the backup camera, which helps you out as well. And you can, of course, put those seats down if you need to, get those out of the way if you don't have any backseat drivers. Alright, so what do you think of this vehicle? I think it's awesome. Really excited. When I showed up here at Sparks Toyota, this has caught my eye as soon as I pulled in the parking lot, and I talked to the man here, and man, this is a, I guess they don't get a lot of TRD Pros. They actually have 2 now, so they were really excited about that. So anyways, thank you for watching, and thank you to Sparks Toyota for allowing me to show off an awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.